going to need to go ahead and move you downstairs into storage B.
No, I was told I could
have
not.
some new people coming in,
No,
and we need all the space we can get.
but there's no space.
So if you could just go ahead and pack up your stuff and move it down there,
But no,
that would be terrific.
I was told
Okay.
I could stay. Excuse me. I believe you have my stapler.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. Man, you love seeing people who make deals with the devil get burned. And that is exactly what is happening right now to Kevin McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy's political career is effectively over. He's the first Speaker of the House to be stripped of his title by his own caucus when 8 Republicans voted with all of the Democrats to get him out of his speakership chair. And now the race for Speaker has begun, along with a new eviction inside of the United States Capitol. Kevin McCarthy isn't the only person leaving his office. Nancy Pelosi and Steny Hoyer, two longtime fossils, decaying barnacles of Democrats, have been kicked out of their private little cubbies in the Capitol building. Now, why would Nancy Pelosi have a private office in the United States Capitol? Let me explain to you how the Capitol complex works. The Capitol building that you see in all the live shots and on live TV and when the president gives a State of the Union, that building has very little office space. Only the speakers and high-up leadership positions get office space inside of the Capitol. Virtually all other members of Congress have to work inside of these labyrinthy buildings that are way off the Capitol grounds, right? And some of them are very hideously ugly corporate-style office buildings. Not really fun, not really beautiful, and not impressive when you have to go inside of them. When you go inside of the Capitol building, on the other hand, it's very impressive, it's very beautiful, it's very ornate, and it's very powerful to have an office inside of the Capitol. Why the hell is Nancy Pelosi, who doesn't have any official role inside of the Democrat Party, given an office space? Well, because Kevin McCarthy did deals with his uniparty buddies, Nancy Pelosi being one of them, to give her a plum office assignment. Isn't that shocking? One of the first things that happened was Nancy Pelosi was kicked out of her office by now the Speaker pro tem, who said that Nancy Pelosi betrayed Kevin McCarthy. What a sick deal. Don't do deals with the devil. Don't do deals with snakes and witches. Former Speaker Nancy Pelosi was ordered immediately to vacate her Capitol Hill hideaway office on Wednesday as she slammed the acting Speaker Patrick McHenry's decision as sharp departure from tradition. An email sent to Pelosi's office on Tuesday. The room will be rekeyed and reassigned for speaker use. A spokeswoman for Steny Hoyer, who's the Democrat whip, but also not having an official position inside of the Democrat Party, confirmed that he's also being evicted from the United States Capitol. It is powerful to have a position in the United States Capitol. You can do fundraisers and all this stuff there. You have these little private offices. You don't have to walk as far. The move came just hours after McHenry was named House Speaker pro tempore. With all the important decisions that the new Republican leadership must address, we are eagerly awaiting one of the first actions being taken as the new Speaker pro tempore was to order me to immediately vacate my office in the Capitol, Pelosi said in a bitchy statement. Pelosi had 2 separate stints as House Speaker. The eviction is a sharp departure from tradition, said the person who impeached Donald Trump twice for nothing, who kicked Republicans off their committee seats, who openly insider trades, who is one of the most demonic members of Congress ever. A person who has literally shredded the institution of Congress and weaponized it for villainy. I mean, truly, like legitimately, Nancy Pelosi is a proper villain. Look at this. Nancy Pelosi accrued millions from her husband's trades. According to reports, Nancy Pelosi's net worth has ballooned since a 2008 financial crisis with the help of her husband's lucrative stock trades. Here's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. This is how it works. Nancy Pelosi gets in a room with other... God, that is a terrifying image. What's happening right here with her eyes? What's going on? Why is this black? What's going on here? These people are demons, okay? They are snakes. They are reptilian. Pelosi's net worth is an estimated $174 million. According to numbers reported on her financial disclosure. How does she get to be worth $200 million when she only gets a taxpayer-funded salary? Oh, that's why. See this? See that little flag? Insider trading. the corruption of Washington. Nancy Pelosi is one of the few people who sits in a room with her little gavel, one of 4 people who sit in the room with her little gavel with lobbyists, deciding what goes into the federal budget, and then Nancy Pelosi goes and makes stock trades based on her decisions. It is legitimately insider trading. In June, Nancy Pelosi's husband exercised call options to purchase up to $5 million in the graphics card manufacturer NVIDIA, just weeks before the House ordered a bill to provide $50 billion in subsidies to the same company. He also bought Tesla stock in March as his wife pushed for electric vehicle subsidies. Do you see how it works? It's not even hard. Some of these things are hard to crack. This is not even difficult. So it's wonderful to see this happen. Hakeem Jeffries staffers cleaned out Pelosi's office, hauled away her belongings in a bag as room was rekeyed. There's actually a photo of it being done by Patrick McHenry, a guy who slammed the gavel down. Pretty pissed off. Watch this.
The House in recess, subject to the call of the chair.
Bam! And he's pissed. Now, why is he pissed? Nancy Pelosi apparently cut a backroom deal. Again, don't make deals with demons. Don't make deals with the devil. Nancy Pelosi cut a backroom deal in order to support Kevin McCarthy in case there was a motion to vacate. But Nancy Pelosi doesn't have any morals or soul. Nancy Pelosi doesn't even have a functional face. So McCarthy and Republicans then retaliated. Here's Nancy Pelosi's crap being cleaned out of her office, being wheeled away. No squatters. Picture tonight from outside of Speaker Pelosi's office. Her staff is moving her out of the Speaker's office as she refused to vacate as Democrat demanded by temporary Speaker. I cannot staff lacking. No squatters. No squatters! You should know that. You should know that. Nancy Pelosi evicted from her Capitol Hill office by interim Speaker. You know what? Play the games, win the prizes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm totally fine with this happening. I'm like 100% okay with this happening. Why would she be given an office inside of the House? Also, by the way, like, this office is, of course, used for very lucrative fundraising, not just insider trading, very lucrative fundraising deals for Nancy Pelosi. It is a sick and despicable way to run our government. Nancy Pelosi is an insider trader. She is a traitor to our nation. It is because of Nancy Pelosi's style of leadership that we get lines like this.
We have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
And we have to pass the bill so we can find out what's in it. This is how it worked, ladies and gentlemen. Nancy Pelosi got together with 2 or 3 other people. Mitch McConnell is one of them. Chuck Schumer is another one. And they all decided what was going to happen in Congress. And then everyone else just had to shut up and let it be rammed down their throats. No more. No more. People are done with it. And it's a thing of beauty to see the changing of the guard. NBC confirms Nancy Pelosi was ordered to move out of her office by Capitol Police. Pelosi's response: this is a departure from tradition. Why would you let... Listen, man, I've seen a lot of stuff about Kevin McCarthy, stuff in favor of him, stuff against him. This is such a mark against Kevin McCarthy and the despicable world from which he comes from. Why would you let the woman who impeached President Trump twice, who stripped Republicans of their committee assignments, who censured Republicans, who weaponized the United States Capitol as a Marxist hellscape implemental tool to persecute your party and Republicans and Americans. Nancy Pelosi is on the side of the goblins in this story, and you give her a special office to fundraise from? No, man. No. McCarthy's got to go. Had to go. Along with all the other jackasses who followed him. McCarthy is an acolyte of John Boehner. What did John Boehner do upon leaving office?
Together. Now that is a great move. Yeah, it's good for me.
Cut ads with Barack Obama. Cutting ads with Obama.
So
This is what John Boehner does.
So now you want my advice? First, stop sending me all these LinkedIn requests. And
Spit in our faces.
Here's the beauty of this whole thing. You've got all the time in the world to figure this out. You can just be you for a while.
They spit in our faces. They are despicable. They are disgusting. We send them there to go fight people like Barack Obama, and then they cut ads with him. Eat popcorn out of his lap. They lie to us. They lie to us and they deceive us. Paul Ryan did the exact same thing. Paul Ryan cut this ad month 1 of the Trump administration. Yeah.
I had the opportunity to travel down to Texas, to go to the Rio Grande Valley and spend time with our Border Patrol.
Build the wall.
When you see what they're up against, it really gives you even greater respect for what they do. They clearly need more tools and more support to do their jobs effectively. That's why we're going to get this done this week.
We're going to get it done this week. What will you get time? What will you get done, Paul Ryan? It's time, the ad says, for the wall. That's what the ad says. Followed by Paul Ryan with the thumbs up. Did Paul Ryan build the wall? This is not a trick question. This is a simple binary question. Did Paul Ryan ever once advance a spending bill that had funding for the wall? The answer is no. He just effing lied to all of you. And this is exactly the same cloth that Kevin McCarthy is cut out of, singing Kumbaya, cozying up to Democrat leadership, suckling up to power. They get to Washington, D.C. They go to drain the swamp, and they realize that it's a jacuzzi. And it's nice and comfortable. And they just settle into the swamp. And they allow the swamp to continue. It's one of the most damning reports I've ever heard, and this will make your blood boil. Nancy Pelosi, 60 Minutes, back when they did real journalism, went to Nancy Pelosi and asked her point blank, why are you insider trading against the American people? You are literally buying and trading stocks that you have direct control over the value of these companies by passing legislation. Listen to Nancy Pelosi's response. She goes, so what? It's despicable. Despicable. You give this person an office. Evicted. Let's start. Clean out. If you got a rat problem, the first thing you got to do is clean out the rat's nest. Great job evicting them. And now let's stop insider trading. Lifetime bans on stock trading for members of Congress. Term limits and age limits and ethics limits. Starting with Pelosi. Lock her up. Let's go.
The Pelosi's purchased 5,000 shares of Visa at the initial price of $44. 2 days later, it was trading at $64. The credit card legislation never made it to the floor of the House. Congresswoman Pelosi also declined our request for an interview, but agreed to call on us if we attended a news conference.
Madam Leader, I wanted to ask you why you and your husband, back in March of 2008, accepted and participated in a very large IPO deal from Visa. At a time there was major legislation affecting the credit card companies making its way through the House. And did you consider that to be a conflict of interest?
I don't know what your point is of your question. Is there some point that you want to make with that?
Well, I guess what I'm asking is, do you think it's all right for a speaker to accept a very preferential and favorable stock deal?
Well, we didn't.
You participated in the IPO.
Well, I have many
and at the time you were
investments,
Speaker of the House. You don't think it was a conflict of interest or had the appearance of a conflict of interest?
It only has the appearance if you decide that you're going to have elaborate on a false premise. But it's not true, and that's that.
I don't understand what part's not true.
Yes, sir. That I would act upon an investment. Yes, sir.
Congresswoman Pelosi pointed out that the tough credit card legislation eventually passed, but it was 2 years later and was initiated in the Senate.
I will hold my record in terms of fighting the credit card companies as a Speaker of the House or as a member of Congress up against anyone's.